Thanks for joining us on Valley News Live, celebrating the equinox today. You're going to see this sun dive down and set exactly in the west. It rises exactly in the east, everywhere across the planet on this equinox. Also, 12 hours of daylight, 12 hours of darkness, give or take a little based on terrain and all of that stuff. Spring is here, ladies and gentlemen. Grab yourself a snowbank and a lawn chair and enjoy the view here. Tracy, thanks so much for sharing your photo. Now let's get down to business. First alert weather days Tuesday and Wednesday as our relentless winter says, it ain't spring quite yet. I'm not done. We give you that first alert so you know what to expect. There will be significant accumulation, not as much wind as compared to some of our recent storms, but it does not begin tonight. We get through the evening pretty quiet, although we'll have an increase in clouds. Increasing clouds and breezy conditions overnight will cap our cooling, and we won't get as cold. We're still going to start out our day on Tuesday around 10 degrees. Now, the blue arrows here represent a persistent breeze out of the east all day. It will increase late in the day, 15 to 25 miles per hour. See the yellow arrows starting to pop up here and there, and not everywhere. As we go through the afternoon, the snow spreads from the South Dakota border. This is at 4 o'clock drive time. No impacts Fargo, Grand Forks, Devils Lake, and Lakes Country, but there will be impacts along the South Dakota border for your evening drive. These yellow arrows indicate gusts 25 to 35 miles per hour. A spotty area too could see a little bit more. So we'll call it brief gusty winds because these gusty winds will accompany the snow. See how they're turning blue? Look at these purple areas here. That's bands of heavy snow accumulating at 1 to 2 inches per hour. It's a fast mover, but at that rate, it will not take long to get some sizable accumulations out of this system. That heavy band of snow will potentially be in Wahpeton and Fargo as we go from 7 to 11. That's when the snow will be heaviest as it shifts into Minnesota. Notice down to the south, there's some of that mixed precipitation nonsense. It is that time of year. And dare I say, we may hear a rumble of thunder in our far southern counties with this system as it works its way through. The timing is right with that afternoon start. Thunder sleet or thunder snow in South Dakota, a possibility. We'll keep you posted on that. Midnight, most of the heavy snow moving through places like Lakes Country. We're talking from about Park Rapids through Bemidji and then out of here. By daybreak, it's done. So most of your Wednesday looks to be fairly quiet but snowy. That morning commute will have the biggest impact. North winds all day, but not terribly strong. So there'll be a chance for the Wednesday afternoon commute to be improved, particularly up north where we get lower snow amounts. A trace to rise that up to 2. That's how you read these contours, by the way, closer to 0 up north, and then it increases as we get into the bullseye, right? Here in the bullseye area, most of us will see 1 inch to 4 inches, right, in this lighter shade of blue. In the dark blue, most of us are going to see 4. A few of us will get up to 8, with isolated or spotty places picking up over 8 inches of heavy, wet snowball making snow. The kind you can practice your pitching, but pitchers and catchers can't report for duty yet in this nonsense. 24 right now. Northeast winds at Hector at 13 miles per hour, and in Grand Forks it's 18. Feels like 5 though with that north wind. Quiet are the skies, increasing clouds to the west, spot on with the forecast. That'll keep us from getting too cold. But speaking of cold, it's mild in central Minnesota thanks to those trees helping warm things up. Wind and snow beginning in the afternoon. A snapshot showing that along the border and far west will be where the snowflakes fly first. Fargo's planner, they get here as we cross from say 6 to 9 o'clock. That's when we'll have our chance of the best or heaviest accumulations here. By Wednesday, most of the day will be quieter. The morning commute will be compromised. Have the Valley News Live weather app handy. Quieter stretch of weather lasts into next week. That's right. Quieter stretch of weather for more than 1 day in a row. More than 1 day. Anyways, we don't want anybody tossing cookies with forecasts like this because, you know, I've heard of people throwing other things at the television sets when they see this. More snow into the middle of next week. We'll keep you posted.
All right, thanks, Hutch.
Well, today is the day for ice fishermen in Minnesota. You need to get your lake house, ice house off the lake in the north. Hutch, it's contagious. What have you done to me? Anglers need to make sure they clean up their trash,
This
too.
is the northern third of the state. After today's deadline, you can still use shelters on the ice, but they must be occupied if they're out between midnight and an hour before sunrise. Shelters cannot be left or stored at public accesses.
Tossing cookies and weird stuff. Later here at 6, students across the country have spelled their way to the top. We'll take you to North Dakota's state spelling bee next.